Sports.
We are Black Force. We are Sun Force.
The Rays' starting rotation has been on quite a roll over the past 8 games. Last night, Jeremy Hellickson kept the good times rolling, tossing a complete game shutout in just his 11th big league start. Today, right-hander Wade Davis goes to the mound, searching for his 5th consecutive win, while the offense gets a boost with the return of B.J. Upton. Rays Orioles starting now on Sun Sports. The Rays continue this homestand on the heels of a victory last night. They have opened a 2-game lead in the American League East up on the New York Yankees. And in store today, Game 2 of this 3-game series as the Rays play host to the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Rays Baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Good to have you with us here. Todd Callis will be along in just a few moments. Well, the Rays 3-0 winners last night. Jeremy Hellickson, the big story in that one. But what about the hitting for the Rays last night? Matt Joyce again hit one deep and out of here to right field to get the scoring started.
Yeah, and Matt Joyce, this isn't just some little streak he's on. He's been doing this for the past month. Look at that. Those numbers, the past 28 games, a .440 average. The 5 home runs have popped up just recently. In his first 23 games, he had no home runs. He's got 5 in his last 12. And if you go over that same time frame, Lance Berkman is the next closest hitter to him at .395. So he is really destroying the baseball right now. And if you look at his spray chart, you will see the reason why. He is hitting the ball to all fields, left, center, and right. That is how you hit .440, my friends.
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks, he's only 1 hit away from hitting .500 over that stretch with power. Now on the mound for the Rays, Wade Davis, the right-hander. He's going to be looking for a little more fastball command today. He's coming off 4 consecutive wins.
And Wade Davis ran into Wade in Cleveland, got a chance to talk to him about his last start. He picked up a win, went 5 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. He walked 5. He was livid with himself. And even though he got that win, that told you all you need to know about Wade Davis. He will be looking to go out there with better command. But you see what he's done. He lost his first 2 starts of the season, and then boom, the last 5, a 4-0 record, an ERA of 2.56, and continuing to look to improve.
Yeah, he's the sort of guy who seems to be able to will his way through a game, and he did that in his last outing to improve his record to 4-2. Brad Ferguson, the right-hander on the mound for Baltimore, coming in with a mark of 0-4. This will be his 8th appearance, his 7th start coming up. Well, B.J. Upton returns to the Rays lineup after serving a 2-game suspension. Callis will take an up-close and personal look at that in a moment.
Rays getting ready on a Saturday late afternoon from Tropicana Field. If you remember the last homestand, B.J. Upton had a little bit of an argument at home plate with Chad Fairchild. Thrown out of the game, ejected, and eventually he would be suspended for a couple of games. He appeals the suspension, and during that appeal, the suspension, he was hitting the ball all over the place, driving the ball to right field here against the Orioles, and he had some power to right center with a long home run, and he would rip a ball into left. 10 hits, 10 RBIs during the 5 games when he appealed the suspension. He would drop the suspension after his first game in Cleveland, where he hit the ball off the left field wall again. So during that time, B.J. Upton, as you can see, averaging 2 hits and 2 RBIs a game, as he also had 4 doubles in that stretch. We caught up with B.J. and also Rays skipper Joe Madden talking about having the boss man back.
It's nice. He's been playing really well. Very fortunate to win 2 games without him in the lineup. I like the look of this lineup with him back in the 6 hole between Joyce and Koch. I kind of like that look. But it's wonderful. He's been playing a very high level of offense, defense, and his base running has been really good.
I think the key is just, being consistent. So it's a long season, man. We still got 4 or 5 months left. So, I'll see what I can do, and hopefully I can, continue to do what I'm doing now.
That was about 3 hours ago. BJ's definitely more fired up now. We're 3 minutes and 10 seconds away from the first pitch. It is the Rays and the Orioles. Brad Ferguson against Wade Davis. Enjoy the game in high definition. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson right around the corner.
Part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Tires Plus, thinking tires, think Tires Plus. By AT&T, and by Toyota, moving forward. Rays back in action this afternoon against the Baltimore Orioles with Wade Davis on the hill. Here is the Baltimore starting lineup put together by Buck Showalter. He has Brian Roberts leading off again, followed by Nick Markakis and Derek Lee. In the lineup at DH, hitting cleanup, Vladimir Guerrero. Luke Scott and Adam Jones follow. In the bottom 3, J.J. Hardy, Jake Fox, and Mark Reynolds.
Well, taking the hill this afternoon for the Rays is right-hander Wade Davis. It will be his 8th start of the season. A 4-2 record. Those 4 wins coming in his last 5 starts after he started the season losing his first 2.
And he faces Roberts to get this one started. First pitch is wide. 1 ball, no strikes. It's a strike on the outside part of the plate. The count is 1-1. Wade 4-2 in 7 prior starts against Baltimore. Roberts fouls it back. The count goes to 1-2. Buck Showalter, the manager of the Orioles. Right now, Baltimore 17-20 on the year, 5.5 back of the Rays, running 5th in the East. This one toward the line and left. Bowled back though, and Sam makes the catch. And Brian Roberts is out number 1.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense. Left to right in the outfield, Sam Fold, BJ Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Ben Zobrist, Casey Kochman. John Jaso gets the call behind the plate. That's what you're going to look for from Wade Davis today, is better fastball command. That last start in Baltimore really struggled with the fastball command, and when you do that, you put yourself into a lot of bad counts and bad situations. And that's one of the things when I got a chance to talk to Wade that he said, I really didn't feel like I could pitch my game because I was constantly in trouble as far as the count was concerned. So he'll be looking to use that fastball to get ahead early, and then he can go to his mix with the changeup, the curveball, the slider.
He's 1-1 with Nick Markakis. And this is a little bit wide. Fastball in around 90. 2 balls, 1 strike. This one comes in high, a breaking ball. First attempt at a curveball today.
I just tried to feel that one in there. Really didn't snap it off. Just a roller. Stayed up above the zone.
And the 3-1 skied toward left center. Upton back with room, and BJ makes the catch. BJ, just before he got to the warning track, hauls it in.
That's one of those outs as a pitcher that you feel fortunate. You know, you're in a bad count, 3-1, and you throw a fastball that catches a lot of plate to a guy that's got some juice. And so you throw that in there, he makes solid contact, and you get the fly ball to center field. You get back up on the mound and feel pretty good.
Like, hey, it might be my day.
But you got away with one, absolutely.
Here's Derek Lee, and that fastball is a little close. 1 ball and no strikes to the number 3 hitter, the first baseman. Lee hitting .228, 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in. The Orioles still waiting for him to get started offensively. And Davis is behind him now, 3-0. And there's ball 4. So Lee walks on 4 pitches. And here is Vladimir Guerrero, who had the night off last night. And you know his story. If it's anywhere between first and third, he's going to be swinging and making contact more times than not.
That's the impressive thing. Anybody can swing the bat. He actually will reach these pitches.
Pitch is high.
I've given up a couple of home runs to Vladimir Guerrero, and I'm not kidding you. One of them was a fastball in off the plate that he turned and hit right down the left field line for a home run, and I mean right down the line, and then tried to go away from him with a pitch that was probably below the knee, right at the knee, but probably 4-6 inches off the plate away, and he took me right down the right field line.
And there's a shot back into center field. Upton back, still on the run. It's going to be off the bottom of the wall. Extra bases here for Guerrero. Lee's going to score. Into second with the double goes Guerrero, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. So the 2-out walk, and now the double by Guerrero, giving Baltimore the lead.
Yeah, you see, you don't want Vladimir Guerrero coming up to the plate with anybody on base, especially a guy Derek Lee who's been struggling with the bat. That was just a flat slider. No downward action on it. Outer half of the plate, but we already talked. Vladimir Guerrero can reach those pitches, and he juiced that one. You had to get it over the head of BJ.
14th run driven in by Vladimir Guerrero this year. Now the hitter is Luke Scott, and he takes the first pitch, a curveball. That's in there for a strike. Scott with 6 home runs, as you see there. Hitting .318 with men in scoring position. 1-1, a fastball up. See what he's done against right-handed pitching. They try to work him with a lot of off-speed stuff.
Take that similar approach against Ben Zobrist. Very good fastball hitter.
And that's a strike on a fastball, says Jim Wolf, who's calling the balls and strikes today.
And what you like to do with those guys a lot of times is what they call pitching backwards, which is typically, you know, the sequence that you use is you establish the fastball, then work in the breaking pitchers. You pitch a guy backwards, you start him out soft, curveballs, changeups, and then the hard stuff comes late, almost as a surprise.
Just a little piece of that one, a breaking pitch, so he stays alive.
Tries to close him out with a curveball down and in. And Luke Scott able to get just the top part of the baseball to stay alive.
Orioles with a run home already. One-two pitch again. He pops him up. Fastball popped to the left side. Longoria in foul territory handles it to retire the side. A run, a hit, one left. Bottom of the first coming. Rays down, coming in to hit. Down by a run. Joe Madden puts Sam Fold in the leadoff spot with Ben Zobrist second and Johnny Damon third. Evan Longoria hits cleanup in front of the red-hot Matt Joyce, and B.J. Upton back in there hitting sixth. Casey Kochman, Reed Bredyak, and John Jaso completing the lineup. First pitch taken by Fold for a strike around the knees as the Rays face the right-hander Brad Bergeson. And the count is 1-1. ball. Takes the count to a ball and 2 strikes.
There's Brad Bergeson's numbers this year. Had 1 appearance out of the bullpen, 0-4, 5.57 in his career against the Rays. 5 starts, 0-5 with a 9.13.
This one hit on the ground to Roberts at second, and he makes the play in routine fashion.
Well, let's take a look at that Oriole defense. Left to right in the outfield, Luke Scott, Adam Jones, and Nick Markakis across the infield, third to first. Mark Reynolds, J.J. Hardy, Brian Roberts, and Derek Lee. Jake Fox gets the call behind the plate for the Orioles this afternoon.
Now Ben Zobrist. Ben had a walk and a base hit last night, going 1 for 3. He's in the top 10 in the American League in slugging percentage. 1-1.
Brad Bergeson, sinker, slider, changeup. Mainly sinker, slider to righties. He'll use all 3 against the lefties.
2 balls and a strike.
He's looking for ground balls, and you see his numbers this year, not very good. Well, his ground ball percentage has gone way down from his career. Back in 09, he was 64% ground balls. This year, he's pitching at a rate of 43%. He's become a fly ball pitcher as a sinker baller. That's not a good combination.
Another line drive and a base hit into right field. Markakis will backhand it. Zobrist is going to challenge his arm and go for 2, and he's in there with a double. Aggressive base running by Ben Zobrist. That's his 13th double of the year, and he's now in scoring position.
Well, here's our, take a look at our checkers double of the game. A slider out over the plate. Ben Zobrist, here he's going to go for 2. A lot of runners here would not go for 2 and challenge the arm of Nick Markakis because he's got a good one. But that's the Rays, the way that they play. Early in the ball game, let's take a chance. Let's put some pressure on the defense, force him to make a long throw accurately. He wasn't able to do it.
And here's the thing about Markakis, at least in the season series with the Rays, his throwing has not been as accurate. There's a line drive and a base hit into right field by Damon. They're going to hold Zobrist, and this throw comes up the line a bit. You know, time after time in the season series between the Rays and the Orioles, Markakis, who's known to rack up assists in right field, has not made accurate throws against the Rays.
This sinker comes back over the plate. Johnny Damon just shoots it out into right. Markakis comes up firing. You see the good arm, a lot of good carry. You also see Jake Fox 8-10 feet up the line.
So the Rays with men on the corners, a first inning threat. Evan Longoria in the batter's box. The ground ball down to third. Reynolds to Roberts, 1 and over to first. They get the double play. 5-4-3, and there goes the threat. Top of the first. A run for the Orioles. Bottom of the first, nothing for the Rays. All-inclusive Whitney Bank Club next time you're at the Trop, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club features an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAISE or go to raisebaseball.com to purchase tickets now or for more information. First pitch to Jones is in there, and that's a strike. It's the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club.
Sounds pretty exclusive.
It can be inclusive, all-inclusive, and exclusive at the same time. That's how wonderful that place is.
It sounds resortish.
There you go. Watching the game in comfort. Your appetite satiated. Refreshments in abundance. That's a great place to be.
I was never really good at English, Steve.
2-1 pitch, skied up the right side toward the line. Joyce, a long run, and that's going to be out of play as Joyce started that slide just in case he had a chance and that ball somehow remained in play. Two the count to Adam Jones. Wade Davis on the hill, touch for a run in the first. J.J. Hardy next, and then Jake Fox. Full count. Wade worked 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits in his last outing. That was against the Orioles in Baltimore. Foul ball holds the count right there. See the line for Wade. He made 100 pitches, 53 strikes, and that's below the average for strikes per 100 pitches.
Yeah, Wade would like to be up there in that 60-65 range. The only thing pretty about that line was the fact that it was a W. Some days that's what's that's what it's going to take. You're not going to go out there with your best stuff every time, and you got to win some tough ones.
3-2. A little slider maybe, a little break in it. Fouled.
Well, Adam Jones, such a notorious aggressive fastball hitter. In a full count, you know what he's thinking. I feel like you've got a good command of that slider. You go with it.
And a pop-up. Jaso after this one, and he makes the catch. Well, Jones had a fastball, and he fouls out on it. He has struggled against Wade Davis, and it's the kind of situation that has Jones talking to himself a little bit. He's 1 for 12 now against Wade Davis.
And this doesn't help the confidence. He got a fastball right out over the plate. The thing about it was just too high. You get it up high enough, a hitter, boy, he's going to take a nice rip at it like that, but it's tough to get on top of. Pops it straight up.
J.J. Hardy takes an opening strike. One and one. 2-out walk, and then a double produced the Baltimore run in the first. High fly ball toward the left field line. Fold cutting into foul territory. Has it just behind the bullpen mound. 2 up, 2 down.
And you go look at Wade Davis, the first 5 outs, all in the air.
Jake Fox, the hitter. Fox 5 for 32 on the year. One and one. Breaking ball lined into left, and Fold is there picking it out of the lights to make the catch on that one. 1, 2, 3. We go to the home half of the inning, and the Rays trail. It's a 1-0 ball game. Matt Joyce leads off the second inning for the Rays. It takes a pitch away off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, Matt leading the American League in hitting. And is ahead in the count now, 2-0. How about those numbers for the last 6 games for that 6-game hitting streak? 11 hits, 3 homers, and 3 two-base hits.
And you can just keep going back and back and back, and the numbers are still ridiculously impressive.
For the last 2 weeks, he's 23 out of 48.
Well, you know what? I'll up that. The last 4 weeks, he's 40 out of 91.
Yeah, but you know, he's hitting .406 against right-handed pitching, and that leads everybody.
I feel like I need a pencil in my ear.
2-2 now. And look at this. How about this home run last night?
Yeah, that was just on a mistake pitch by Jeremy Guthrie. Fastball middle in to try to go in there for strike 1. That was a gift to Matt Joyce.
The ground ball to second. Roberts takes care of that. 1 away. B.J. Upton's on his way to the plate. B.J. back in the lineup after missing a couple games with the suspension. BJ's had some good numbers against Ferguson throughout his career. First pitch, he takes it for a strike. BJ 7 out of 13. 538 off Ferguson with a home run. It's a 1-1 count. Two and one. This one is into right field. Going to be in there for a base hit. BJ on his way to second, and the throw is offline. A double for BJ. That's his 10th two-base hit.
Well, mainly fastball slider to righties. There you get the slider, doesn't quite make it out to the outside corner, and BJ does a nice job of going right down and going with that pitch. You don't try to pull it, go right with it, shoot it to right field. And again, hustling out of the batter's box, is able to get into second base with a double.
Here's Casey Kochman. And there's a strike. Casey, like Matt Joyce, has been wearing out right-handed pitching so far, hitting .346 overall and a little over .370 against right-handers.
Well, and you could see too where the Orioles have J.J. Hardy positioned with Bergeson, the sinker baller.
Ground ball again. This one to Roberts. It's out number 2, and Upton goes to third.
Yeah, Casey Kochman had been doing such a nice job of balls that are away from him, shooting it right back up the middle. They had J.J. Hardy pulled way up the middle. He hits that typical line drive just outside of the pitcher's reach. Hardy been sitting there waiting on it.
Well, here's Reed Brignac. See if Reed can pick up the RBI. He lifts it back into center field. That'll send Jones back, still back, and just to the track. He makes the catch to retire the side. Rays leave a man at third. 1-0 Baltimore.
As we head to the third inning, and we are joined by a couple of the finest in Pasco County in terms of teaching, as Mark Reynolds will lead things off here in the third inning against Wade Davis. First of all, Dan Wolf, as Reynolds pops one high in the air to left field. Sam Fold trying to locate it. Now he's got a beat on it, and there's one away. Dan Wolf, Teacher of the Year in Pasco County from Schrader Elementary School. Talk to us about being a teacher and when you knew that was important to you.
It's just important to be a role model for all the students, and because they really look up to us as educators, and it's great to be a Teacher of the Year to represent Pasco County.
And we have Pam Payon. She is the school-related person of the year. You are an instructional assistant at Hudson High School. Tell us about where you felt like when you found out that you were named school-related person of the year.
It was quite amazing. I worked, like I said, 13 years for Hudson High School, and just to be recognized by my staff and fellow workers and co-workers, to just be acknowledged in that kind of way, it just is completely amazing and overwhelming.
As we have a ground ball to second, this could be the second out of the inning, as it is. 2 away quickly, and Dan, finally, what for you when you found out you were Teacher of the Year? What was your reaction?
I was just completely overwhelmed and just felt so blessed that my peers thought of me in that light, and like I said before, it's just wonderful to represent Pasco County and educators everywhere.
We have Dan Wolf, we have Pam Payon. They're staying around for the Darius Rucker concert, enjoying a little baseball as well. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Pasco's finest, guys. Back to you.
Thank you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. And the pitch to Nick Markakis is a strike call. 2 gone with the bases empty, with Wade Davis on the hill for the Rays. 1-1. line drive, base hit. Fastball. Markakis got on top of that one and drove it into right field. Second hit for Baltimore.
Up fastball, middle of the plate, way up. You're right, Dwayne. He got on top of it and shot that ball right out to right field.
So Markakis back in at first. Lee takes a fastball outside the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. He walked his first time and scored on the 2-base hit by Guerrero. Breaking ball drops low. The count is 2-0. Game in the top half of inning 3. And a long shot down the line. Is it fair or foul? That ball is foul. Derek Lee making a bid for his 5th home run of the year and hooked it just foul. Lee homered up in Baltimore off Wade. One of the 3 runs he gave up. Just missed one there. It's going to be a strike. Fastball to square the count. Lee a little bit at odds with Jim Wolf over that called strike.
Well, so many times too, a hitter turns on a fastball in like that. They hit it that hard, they think no way he's going to come back in there again, and Wade was able to surprise him.
Back into center field, sends BJ back on the track, and he makes the catch. Hit a breaking ball a long way. No runs, 1-0 Baltimore. Third in the game today and all season long. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. John Jaso to lead off for the Rays, followed by Sam Fuld and Ben Zobrist. The first pitch taken for a strike. Pitch is low. 1-1. High popper. It's Hardy, the shortstop, making the call. One away. Well, the first time through, the Rays ordered 3 hits, a couple of doubles and a single, and we go back to the top side now for Sam Fuld. Well, the Rays so far this month have been a doubles hitting machine of a team. Fuld takes the pitch for a strike. They lead the majors in 2 base hits so far for the month of May. And there's a base hit into right field. Fuld will make the turn and hang on there with a base hit.
And you see how close Derek Lee was playing on this play. Because of the fact that he squared around to bunt, Orioles not sure. Will he or won't he? Derek Lee almost playing even with the bag. It's a fastball in. Look where he's playing. That's not normal depth. Nobody on base. And that ball's able to get by him because of the fake bunt attempt by Sam Fuld. That's that can do. I mean, because let's be honest here. If he did want to bunt that first pitch, he should have. That was a strike, a good pitch to bunt. He takes it. Mark Reynolds, Derek Lee come in a couple of steps, and then he shoots it right by Lee.
Ben Zobrist takes the first pitch inside. Ben doubled his first time. The Rays have 32 doubles this month. That's 6 more than the nearest club in the 2 base hit department. There goes Fuld. The pitch is low, and the throw is not going to be in time. Fox had a little trouble getting that throw up and out. And that's stolen base number 12 for Sam Fuld.
Right there, Jake Fox had to go back into the glove twice, just couldn't get it out cleanly. That's all the time you need. That little delay right there will allow a base runner another step or two. And that's the difference.
Pitch a strike, and now it's a 1-1 delivery, and that's in there for strike 2. Putting Ben down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stolen base, and Fuld is in scoring position with 1 out. Down and in, and a block by Fox. Fuld trying to go to third, and the ball squirts away. Fuld is in there. That ball got away from Reynolds at third base. Well, Sam trying to be aggressive, and on the recovery, it appeared that he was going to run into it out at third. And then this development.
Here it is on Fox Mode. The throw's there. The tag is there. The ball, 5-hole. There it is. The right forearm of Sam Fuld. And the ball dribbles through.
And a swing and a miss by Zobrist. That's a changeup, and Zobrist strikes out. Well, for the time being, that's going to be a caught stealing and an error charge to Reynolds. But you know, on that first replay, and I guess that's the right call, because I'm not sure Reynolds ever really corralled that ball. Ground ball down to first by Damon, and just like that, the Rays' threat is over again. In 3 consecutive innings they've threatened, but they have not scored. 1-0 Baltimore leading as we go to the 4th inning, and it's time for the trivia question presented by AT&T. How many rookies have thrown a complete game shutout in Rays history? Well, we saw the shutout last night from Jeremy Hellickson, 120 pitches and a 4-hit shutout. Rays winning that game 3-0.
Well, you saw him there on the bench too with his rolling pin. He's making dessert for the team today for their after ball game spread.
Yeah, that's one of those long rookie traditions.
That's right.
Down to third. Longoria knocks it down, picks it up, and the throw is in time to get Guerrero. Guerrero, the first out, and boy, when you see him struggling down there, it's difficult.
That ball got on Longoria in a hurry. He's going to take his time then on the throw, and a nice dig out actually there by Kochman. There's a lot of wear and tear on those knees. A lot of years, a lot of doubles, playing the outfield, and doing it well for a long time.
Luke Scott now takes a breaking ball that misses. 1 ball, no strikes. On that play in the bottom of the 3rd, when Fold was apparently out and then safe at third, this pitch popped up, coming straight back toward the screen, and that's out of play. Count is 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Scott. That's a strike. So on that play on Fold, they charged him with a caught stealing, but he was trying to advance when the ball was in the dirt and was blocked by Fox, and so they're going to take that caught stealing away from him, and they should. Inside, because he was not trying to steal, he was trying to advance when that ball was in the dirt by the pitch and blocked and kept alive by the catcher Fox. And then the throw appeared to be there in time. It was difficult, actually, as it turns out, for Reynolds to corral it, and it popped loose. So on the advance, they're going to saddle Reynolds with the error. Foul out of play, but no caught stealing. So Fold, who had stolen second base in that trip around the bases for his 12th steal, then got in, as it turns out, on an error charged to Reynolds. Scott will see another 3-2 pitch. One out on the ground ball to third by Guerrero. Scott has extended this at bat to the point where this will be the 8th pitch. And strike 3 called. It was dropped by Jaso, a curveball. And Scott is caught looking. Despite the fact that Jaso dropped it, Jim Wolf still on the job behind the plate and called it a strike.
Yeah, did a nice job of following that back. Usually the catcher doesn't catch it. They don't get a very good look at it. You don't get the call. That's a curveball right there, middle of the plate. Definitely a strike. It was the right call. Just a clank.
Jim Wolf, a 9-year veteran of big league umpiring. First pitch is down to Adam Jones. 1 ball, no strikes. A ball and a strike. Two and one. Baltimore scored a run in the first. They haven't threatened since then. The Rays have had a threat in each of the first 3 innings. Have not scored. And Jones is up in the count, 3-1. Again, here's a guy who loves to swing the bat. He is not the most selective hitter. Looking here, 3-1. And he takes ball 4 down and away. Second walk given up by Wade Davis. And the team wore Navy SEALs t-shirts on their last road trip, and the reaction was so strong that we had to share it with you. So by popular demand Tuesday, when the Rays take on the Yankees, the first 10,000 fans wearing Rays gear or with a valid military ID will get this Navy SEAL shirt in honor of our nation's heroes. Over to first base. Back in goes Jones. And Jones will steal a base if you don't pay attention to him. And sometimes if you pay attention to him, he'll steal. Back in again. No count on the Baltimore shortstop, James Jerry Hardy. J.J. Hardy. And there's the first pitch strike.
You see the change in rhythm and tempo there by Wade Davis. Coming up, throwing over, doing it again. Then he comes up, comes set, and then right to the plate. Always change up your timing. That's another weapon that right-handers will use to control the running game. Just try not to get into a pattern of a certain count before you deliver the ball to the plate. The runner can't time you.
Pitch down. 1-1. Just his presence out there. Davis only 25. He won't be 26 until September. But his presence sometimes reminds you of a pitcher who might be 10 years older than him. All business and pretty focused, and he's not giving much away in terms of reactions or facial expressions.
No, when you think of Wade Davis, you see him out there, you think stoic.
Cut and a miss by Hardy. The count is 1-2. Speaking of birthdays, Austin Henderson, 10 years old today. He's one of the great young Rays fans, and it's his birthday. We wanted to wish him the very best. Former big leaguer, and we can't wait till we see him in the Rays colors. High pop up, third base side, and Longoria in foul territory takes care of that. No runs, a walk, a man left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 Baltimore. create some scoring opportunities, and at this point it's 1-0 Baltimore. Time to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question today. How many rookies have thrown a complete game shutout in Rays history? And for that answer, 6. And here's the list of those rookie shutouts. A couple by Rolando Rojo. Travis Harper threw that great game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Doug Wechter. Wade Davis against Baltimore. And, of course, Jeff Neiman. And the most recent, Jeremy Hellickson. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Evan Longoria. The home half of the 4th underway. Evan grounded into a 5-4-3 double play his first time. Down to third base again. And the throw across in time. Reynolds to Lee, and Evan is out number 1.
Well, so far, Brad Bergeson throwing the ball much better than he did his last time out against the Rays.
He's throwing ground balls is what he's doing.
Yeah, and that is his game. You know, he doesn't have the overpowering stuff, and he doesn't throw the myriad of pitches. He's mainly fastball, slider, the occasional changeup. Relies on that sinker.
Now Matt Joyce bounces one foul down the first base side behind George Hendrick. Matt Joyce at 366 this time in, leading the American League. Just ahead of Bautista. Outside, tried to throw a breaking ball. Looked like a curveball attempt there, and it's 1-1.
And that's why he doesn't throw it very often.
Little tap, Ferguson off the mound to make the pickup, and to throw to first in time.
And there's that changeup from Ferguson that you don't see that often, but that's an effective pitch.
Yeah,
not a huge difference.
A couple of them.
Yeah, not a huge difference in velocity. Right around 90, 91, can get it to 93. That one, 84, 85. But you see the desired result. The swing out in front, barely gets a piece of it off the end of the bat. That's what that pitch is designed to do. Take the sting out of the bat, miss the barrel. Get a guy out in front.
There's BJ. He chops one down to third. Reynolds makes this play. So 3 ground balls, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 5th, 1-0 Baltimore. Fifth inning, just a reminder to look out for the Miller Lite. Tastes great this moment. Coming up later in the game today. Baltimore scored a run in the first, and that's been it so far. Jake Fox leads off, takes a quick cut, fouls it back. It's a strike. Fox, Reynolds, and then Roberts. Ground ball foul outside of third. 0-2. Fox had a curveball and a liner into left caught by Sam Fuld in the second inning. Matt Wieters, their everyday catcher, getting the day off. Giving Fox an opportunity to catch. He catches, but can be utilized in a number of other positions as well. And he has some pop in his bat. This one foul. Out of play, and the count is 2 strikes. Two. And did he go? He did not, says Darryl Cousins. 1 and 2. It's tough to get a strike out of Darryl Cousins even when he's umpiring first.
Yeah, he might have gotten this one right. Didn't look like Fox went from the front angle. Ooh, that could have. He could have. That bat head came around.
And a big swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Jaso down to Kochman to complete the strikeout. So that'll be the first out here in the 5th inning. Let's flash back to the rookie season for Wade Davis on September 17th. In 2009, he threw that 4-hit shutout against the Orioles in Baltimore. Struck out 10 and walked only 2 in that foul ball by Mark Reynolds. Strike 1.
Little pinball between the masks there. Rattled Jim Wolf's cage.
Yeah, you can always tell when an umpire's not feeling good by the way he throws that ball that he's going to throw out of play. He had good control, though. He threw it right to the bat boy. 1-1, but there was just a body language of disgust with the way his foot was feeling. High shot deep into right field. Joyce will go back, look up, and this one is gone. Reynolds with some of that power. Didn't take that long to get out of here. He strikes out a lot, but when he connects, they go a long way, and that's the second Baltimore run of this game. 2-0.
Well, it was demonstrated right there. Mark Reynolds got power to all fields. There's a fastball. It's away, but it's elevated. You see where this ball crosses the plate on the outer half, but it's at the belt. You can see that stride. We were talking in last night's game how he almost jumps at the pitcher. A lot of movement there. But if he's able to make solid contact, the ball will fly.
Roberts fouls one out of play. Well, Reynolds acquired by the Orioles, added to their lineup for exactly that purpose, to add some power. He will give you that, along with strikeouts. There's a base hit pulled through the right side by Brian Roberts. And now the Orioles put a man on with a 2-0 lead. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th inning.
Well, Brian Roberts coming into that at bat was just 3 for his last 45. He got a hanging breaking ball.
Yeah, they've had some guys, Roberts being one, and Reynolds another one. Reynolds was 2 for 21 before he hit that home run. And now Roberts is aboard. and Nick Markakis is the hitter. The pitch is too low. The Rays facing a 2-run deficit as Davis tries to pitch around this base hit following the home run. And a base hit the other way. That pitch was up a bit and punched through the left side. Markakis has a base hit with Roberts stopping at second.
You know, Wade Davis missing up in the strike zone. That's not going to work for any pitcher. He missed up to Mark Reynolds. He threw a hanging breaking ball to Brian Roberts, and then this pitch way up. But, you know, you remember the last at bat, Markakis went up high like that on a pitch that was middle of the plate, way up, and was able to line it to right field. This one, he gets on top of that. That might have been another inch or two higher than the previous. He shoots it to left.
Now he faces Derek Lee and throws a strike.
That's where you got to bear down. 2-run lead or 2-run deficit. Derek Lee stayed down in the zone with something nasty. Get yourself a double play.
He takes a big cut and misses.
Boy, good sink on that fastball. Just ball really explode down. See the way Jaso caught it, glove to the dirt.
And a cut and a miss. Lee out on strikes. Big strikeout for Davis here with runners at first and second.
Now, this is not exactly where Wade Davis wanted that pitch. You see Jaso reaching back to the middle of the plate. So often, that reach by the catcher means bad things for the pitcher. But Derek Lee, who's struggling right now, just badly pulled off that slider.
Vladimir Guerrero. Pitch down and in, a fastball to open the sequence of pitches. Guerrero doubled in the run in the first inning. Another run is scored in the fifth on the home run by Reynolds. And the ball's going to skip and bounce past Jaso. Roberts to third. Markakis up to second. It's a wild pitch charged to Davis.
Well, there's the slider down. Jaso never got the other arm up. Didn't block that ball off. He got the glove down, but that arm's got to come around where you almost square your shoulders to try to keep that ball in front of you. Arm was late coming up, and it snuck through that side.
Pitch is down.
I mean, that was a breaking ball that was right out in front of him in the middle of his body. That's a ball that, you know, like you talked about, Dwayne, that's a ball you got to just smother. You kind of square your shoulders over the top of it, drop down with the glove down and smother it.
And there's ball 4 away to load the bases. So they're loaded with Luke Scott coming up. Now's it time to take a look at the upcoming race schedule. Brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Baltimore tomorrow afternoon, and then the Yankees in Monday and Tuesday nights. As we look forward to the upcoming race schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. Yeah, and the problem with that wild pitch, it's a pitch in the dirt, but one that most catchers would expect themselves to block. And if that happens often enough, then it starts to affect things like confidence and pitch selection and all kinds of issues.
Well, you get ahead of Luke Scott right here. 0-2, 1-2.
Yeah.
You confident to throw the breaking ball in the dirt for the strikeout?
You don't know. That's a strike.
That's where it starts to come into play, because that was a pitch that it's right there. I mean, it's right there they don't come much easier to block.
Scott has fouled a third, struck out looking in the fourth. Upstairs, big spot in this game as the Rays try to stay within 2. And the bases are loaded. Scott, who came into the game hitting .252, also came in hitting .318 with men in scoring position. At .248 right now with an 0 for 2 today so far. Shoots it into right field, and Joyce is there to make the catch. A line drive to Joyce in right, retires the side. Bottom of the 5th coming, 2-0 Baltimore. The 5th inning, Rays got out of a big spot in the top half of the inning.
Now ball 1, ball 2. This is all with the bases loaded. Nowhere to put him. Right there, a ball that's down and in. Luke Scott hit it hard. You're living right way, Davis.
The Rays very much within striking distance here. They've missed a couple scoring opportunities. In fact, they had men in scoring position in each of the first 3 innings. Casey Kochman leading off, taking a strike here in the bottom of the 5th. Reed Brignac next, and then John Jaso. Ferguson throws this one into the dirt. Ferguson had just a 7-pitch 4th inning. So he'd made only 43 pitches through the front 4 and has thrown a ton of ground balls, including a big double play ball back in the 1st when he got Longoria to end the inning with men at 1st and 3rd. There's a hot shot ground ball and a good stop by Roberts, who makes the throw in time to get Kochman. Kochman hit it hard, but Roberts made the play.
Yeah, I think that was a changeup. Kochman just a little bit out in front, but he hit it solidly, and a nice play there by Brian Roberts, fielding that ball up above his head as he's headed towards the ground. Not a very easy play to make, and then the easy throw out from the knees.
Here's Reed Brignac. Down and in. Curveball. One of just a handful, maybe 3 or 4 of those we've seen from Ferguson today.
It's got more of a slider sweep, almost very slurvy. Trying to give him just a change of speed.
Ball, 2 strikes. Slice out of play.
You see with the pitches, and he's throwing them all here to Reed Brignac. You got the fastball 90-92 range. You got the slider and the changeup, mid-80 range, and then you got that slurvy curveball in the upper 70s, trying to get those 3 different tiers of speeds.
Pitch inside. Ferguson had a nice beginning of his outing against the Rays up in Baltimore. He had 3 scoreless innings and was in the mid-40s in pitch count then. Pitch away, and the Rays got to him for 3 runs in the 4th inning and a couple more in the 5th. So they're in that same situation here, only perhaps an inning later, but the pitch count's about the same, and the Rays have seen him through the lineup. This is the 2nd time through, and Reed, the number 8 hitter. And we'll see what they can do going forward against the right-hander Brad Ferguson. 3-2. Brignac lifts it into left. Luke Scott is there. So 2 gone. Bases are empty here in the home half of the 5th. And we'll go to Todd Callis.
Dwayne, in the middle of a good crowd here today, getting ready for a little baseball and concert. And I want to remind you, tomorrow is a premiere of Inside the Rays, Joe Madden. Joe Madden's going to take us back to his hometown of Hazleton, tell us about some of the good work he's doing there. Also, a little bicycle ride on Bayshore Boulevard. We're going to tour his clubhouse. That's all part of Inside the Rays. You can get some sneak previews right now at foxsportsflorida.com. The premiere airs tomorrow after Rays Live, the postgame show. Back to you guys.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. We'll be looking for that. J-Cell lifts a fly ball to right. It's going to be another 1-2-3 inning. Rays are finished in the 5th through 5. 2-0 Baltimore.
The authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
The Rays down by 2 as this game progresses into the 6th inning. Juan Cruz is up in the bullpen down the right field line. Wade Davis preparing to start the 6th against Adam Jones. First pitch a little bit high. Started him with a curveball. Jones has fouled out to the catcher J-So and walked. Hot shot line drive foul. Had Ron Coppa thinking about doing the limbo down there. Beck is still has plenty of range. So He had to look back to make sure that ball was foul. Two balls and a strike. Strike at the knees. 2-2. Davis, a little over 90 pitches in this game so far. J.J. Hardy's next, and then Fox. There it is. 93 pitches so far for Wade. Outside and low. The slider, full count. Had a 3-ball count in every at bat today. Drives it into left center field. That ball's well hit. Bouncing off the bottom of the wall. It'll be an opening double for Jones in the 6th inning. Well, the Orioles have been trying to get him to be a little more selective and patient. And as he's worked the count today, he's walked and doubled his last 2 plate appearances.
He gets a fastball in here. Wade Davis trying to throw that for a strike. That's right over the inside corner, but Adam Jones does a nice job of getting the bat head through the zone, pulling the hands in. Gets a 6th double this season.
Here's Hardy. He puts down the bunt. It's a good one. Longoria makes the play. Out at first, and over to third goes Jones. That's a sacrifice. Longoria to Kochman. Evan makes that play so well.
Well, this ball is kind of dying right here, and Evan has to go in and throw way across his body. You see the accurate throw. J.J. Hardy almost catches the Rays here by surprise. That's a good bunt. You don't see Evan in the screen yet. And look at that throw on the run. Gets him plenty of time.
Well, Jim Hickey's out, holding that conference on the hill. Cruz continues to throw in the bullpen. Jake Fox will be the hitter.
Visit your local Lowe's to cast your MLB All-Star ballot and enter to win a trip to the All-Star game. Compliments of Scott's.
Yeah, that'll be here before you know it. The All-Star break. The Rays are on the road leading up to the break, and then home with a stand against the Red Sox and the Yankees immediately following the All-Star break.
Yeah, how about that? Welcome to the second half. The boat race is on.
Infield comes in with a man at third. The pitch is high. Fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Everybody close. Longoria and Brignac on the left side. Zobrist and Kochman on the right side.
Rays don't want the Orioles to be able to extend this lead. The way Bergeson is throwing the ball right now.
It's too high. Curveball that didn't bite much. 2 balls, no strikes. Adam Jones at third, 1 out. And Fox takes ball 3, a fastball that missed. He's taking strike. 3-1. Mark Reynolds is on deck. Foul. It's going to wind up in the stands and will take the count full. Getting started on the double by Jones. He's been bunted over to third. So with one out, the count is full. It's Davis and Fox right here. And he got a piece of it, a fastball, and he fouled it back. Scored a run in the first, driven home by Guerrero. Reynolds hit a home run in the fifth. That's the totality of the scoring in this entire game. 3-2 again. Line foul out toward the bullpen. Davis will have to fire another one in there.
And he tried to go for the strikeout there on a curveball. He needs to get the punch out here. Now he can rear back and get that 94-95 that we know that he has. Will come with the slider, but the slider has not been overly sharp today.
3-2, and just a piece of it. So Fox stays alive.
He's tried a couple of sinkers. This one at 88 miles an hour, trying to drop that under the bat. Boy, he just barely fouled that off. Didn't even. Well, if he got a piece, it wasn't much.
3-2 again. And again, a foul ball back into the screen.
You see how that slider doesn't have that normal sharp break with that good downward action. It just kind of, the velocity on it's good, but it's just kind of moving across the plate. Easier for a hitter to track. You know, he struck out Derek Lee on a slider, but that was because Derek Lee just mechanically came undone and completely pulled off the pitch.
So this will be the 10th pitch of this at bat.
It just doesn't have that late bite. Those are the sliders that pick up the strikeouts.
2-2 again, and a long one deep to left. Back goes Full, and that one will get out of here. On a fastball on the 10th pitch of the at-bat, Jake Fox hits a home run, and that will make it 4-0 Baltimore.
Now, the longer a hitter works on that bat, works the count, sees more pitches, the more comfortable he gets with arm slot, spin on the pitch. This was a fastball that Wade Davis wanted away. That ball ended up middle of the plate.
So Joe Madden comes out to make the pitching change. That's it for Wade. We'll be back in a moment. Brought to you by Checkers. Feast on. My Buddy's Home Furnishings with lease purchase programs are up to 6 months, same as cash on furniture, TV, appliances, and more. and by your local Southern Ford dealers. Couple of home runs by Baltimore in the last couple innings, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead. Wade Davis out of the game after 106 pitches and 5 1/3. Juan Cruz is on for the 16th time. He's on to face Mark Reynolds, who hit the home run in the 5th inning. Pitch is outside. Reynolds 1 for 2 on the day. The home run in the 5th inning, his 4th of the year. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Wade Davis pitched 5 1/3. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, struck out 3, walked 3, made 106 pitches. High pop up, foul ball. Longoria hoping to have a play. And now that ball caught up there, and they're not sure what happened to it. All of a sudden, Longoria lost it, started to cover up, and Brignac behind him thought, well, maybe it's going to come to me.
Yeah.
Well, it stayed up there. That's a foul ball. So if it does eventually come down, maybe John Russell can make the catch.
You see the ball right there in the middle of your screen coming down. Gets hung up in the lights. Catwalk.
So the count's 2-1. And you're not sure if that ball would have wound up being in play or not from where it wound up in the bank of lights there. It was going to be close. 2-2 the count. Swing by Reynolds.
Juan Cruz gets him to swing over top of the cutter. He's heavy with the cutter. He throws that cutter upper 80s, 90 mile an hour. He'll also be able to rear back with a four-seamer and get that up into the mid-90s.
Swing and a miss. Reynolds out on strikes. 2 gone here in the 6th inning. Base is empty. And we go to the top side of the Baltimore batting order. Here's Brian Roberts. Had a base hit in the 5th. Pops it up third base side. Foul ball again, and this one is out of play. Longoria over there, but no chance. It's 1-1. Scored a run in the 1st, added 1 in the 5th. They had 2 home in the 6th inning. It's high. 2-1. Is down 3 balls and a strike. Jake Fox hit the 2-run home run in the inning. Base is now empty with 2 outs. 3-1 to count to Roberts. Pops it up again. Foul ball. Left side. And that ball will be playable. How about that? Right in front of the dugout next to the railing. Evan Longoria made the catch. It's a 4-0 game mid-6. Vladimir Guerrero in the first scored Derek Lee. 4th home run of the season in the 5th inning by Mark Reynolds made it 2-0. And Jake Fox connected with a man on in the top of the 6th, making it 4-0. Meanwhile, early the Rays threatened, but a double play ball to third from Longoria ended a first inning threat. The Rays had men in scoring position in each of the front 3 innings, but could not score, and the bunt attempt is fouled. 1 strike to count to Sam Fuld. 8 in a row retired by Bergeson. So the Rays overcome a 4-run deficit. There's a looper back into center that's going to carry to Jones, who makes the catch.
Now, what the Rays desperately need right now are base runners. You know, Dwayne, you talked about they had some opportunities early, didn't cash in. But if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say that Brad Bergeson is not going to be able to hold them off. And if you look over the course of his season, this is a guy that you want to get into the stretch, because with nobody on, he has a pretty good batting average against. But with runners on and runners in scoring position, he's right up at 350 on average. So he's not real comfortable with runners on base, and I don't think that that's something that he's going to be able to do all day long.
1 strike to count to Zobrist. And takes a fastball too close, and it's 1-1.
You saw the numbers right there on through the lineup. 3rd time through the lineup, 385 average. That's because there's just not a lot of options for a sinker slider guy as he moves through a lineup. There's just so many sequences that you can come up with.
2 balls and a strike to count to Zobrist. So the Rays now starting their 3rd time through the lineup. Ben looks at a strike.
And he's thrown that pitch just enough today to really keep the Rays off balance. The sinker's been good, a lot of ground balls, but the changeup has been effective. You saw the reaction there from Zobrist, wanting to swing at that, realizing changeup, and he's able to get the count back to 2-2.
A foul ball. Yeah, he may have thrown that pitch, give or take a pitch or two, maybe 5-6 times.
Yep.
It shows you the importance of just an added pitch, just the introduction of that pitch.
And the lefties know that he's going to use it against them. He doesn't throw that to righties very often.
Strikes out Zobrist. 2nd strikeout of the day for Bergeson. Both have been Zobrist. Got him on a change in the 3rd and the fastball in the 6th.
Well, take the Rays with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.TV today to see every Rays game live or on demand on your computer and your other favorite devices. Visit RaysBaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
Johnny Damon, 1 strike to count. Damon singled in the first. It's a 1-1 count. It's too low. 2 balls and a strike. So not much doing for the Rays since the third. They had runners reach third base in the first, second, and third innings, but nothing. And there's a little knuckle pop to the shortstop Hardy. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Ferguson. We're at the end of 6 at the score. 4-0 Baltimore.
League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final as Barcelona looks for their 3rd championship in 6 years, while Manchester United looks to avenge their 2009 defeat and claim their 2nd title in 4 years. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League final begins Saturday, May the 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition. And how about this, D-Wayne? Earlier today, Manchester United clinched its record 19th Premier League title on Wayne Rooney's penalty kick goal in the 73rd minute to force a 1-1 draw with Blackburn. I told you
were all over
Wayne Rooney would get it done.
All over it.
And the 19 Premier League titles for Manchester United is now one more than their rival Liverpool.
That's why I never question you when it comes to all of that UEFA action.
That or the NASCAR.
Yeah, that's it too. 1 ball, no strikes to Nick Markakis. 2-0. Juan Cruz in relief of Wade Davis. Markakis had a base hit to right in the 3rd. Single into left in the 5th inning. And ball 3 to Markakis. Cruz came on in the 6th to get a strikeout of Reynolds and the pop foul from Roberts. Three and 1. And ball 4 to open the 7th. Well, behind, you don't want to start walking people to begin that inning, but that's exactly the case here. Russell busy in the bullpen up the right side for the Rays. And in steps Derek Lee. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Big cut and a foul ball off the fastball. Strike one. He came into this game hitting .228. He walked and scored his first time. 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in for the year. 0-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes. The Orioles have had men on base in every inning today except the second. A little low and outside. 2-2.
And he keeps trying to exploit him with that cutter away. Derek Lee, we've seen it all afternoon, really pulling away from the baseball. Keeps trying that corner with the cutter.
Two, runner going. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is not going to be in time. Stolen base for Markakis. That's only his second steal of the year. Coming in, the Orioles had stolen just 11 bases all season.
Well, what he did right here was just time up Juan Cruz. Juan Cruz is so focused on trying to strike out Derek Lee, make a quality pitch here, and just didn't pay attention to him. Got caught in a pattern of keeping the same timing after coming set to the plate. Markakis takes advantage.
3-2. That's foul, out of play. Wade Davis worked 5 1/3. Made 106 pitches. The Orioles starter, Brad Ferguson, has been just the antithesis of that. He's made only 68 pitches through 6 innings. He's been very efficient.
Not even sweating.
Swing got a miss. Lee chased that one finally. Just kept cutting away from him, and he's out on strikes.
Well, this is the pitch that he's been struggling with. He finally gets him to chase one. This ball tracking away from him. You see the front hip of Derek Lee opened up. He loses all of his power and his reach.
And that's going to be it for Cruz. Joe Madden comes out to go to the bullpen. Back in a moment. by Checkers. Feast on. Buddy's Home Furnishings with lease purchase programs for up to 6 months. Same as cash on furniture, TVs, appliances, and more. And by your local Southern Ford dealers. Back at Tropicana Field, we're in the top of the 7th. Adam Russell will be pitcher number 3 for the Rays. Inherits a man at second with 1 out. Faces Vladimir Guerrero, and that first pitch, a fastball up and in. 1-0. Guerrero got out of there in a hurry.
Well, you'll do that when you're going to unleash a fastball up around the shoulders. Up and in. There's the season numbers on Adam Russell. 15th appearance. 2.84 earned run average.
Guerrero tried to hold up about halfway through, and the count goes to 1-1.
Well, there's not a pitch that he won't take a shot at. I think for the first time he regrets that one.
Zobrist starting to break to the bag as Markakis widened his lead. I mean, that just shows you how much he is in the hit mode up there. He was trying to start the bat a little quicker, and he was ready to go even on a pitch that was up and in, as much as that second pitch was that he offered. Foul ball evens the count at 2-2. Two strikes. Ground ball back toward the middle, over the bag, comes up on Zobrist. Everybody's going to be safe. That ball back over the mound, right directly over the bag. May have actually hit the bag as it came up on Zobrist, and that's a base hit.
I think that's exactly what it did. Ben Zobrist positioned for this ground ball. Look where he's at already. This ball hit, you think, oh, it's going to get up the middle, but there's Ben, and right off the top of the bag. That's exactly what it hit. Skips right there, boom. Comes up high. Once it gets into your body, you can't control it anymore. He's not able to make the play.
First and third, Luke Scott is the hitter. And that's upstairs. So again, the Orioles with men on base and in scoring position. Markakis at third, Guerrero at first. And Russell is up with this pitch. Mid-90s with the fastball, but up. Russell's first appearance since last Saturday. It's popped up. The 2-0 pitch. Longoria makes the catch. Ball just fair. Back to third. 2 outs.
Well, that was a huge out. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Adam Russell gets Luke Scott to pop up, now finish off this inning, and hopefully try to get something going on the offensive end.
The Rays started the day 2 games up on New York in the AL East. Boston will be in New York tonight. That's Beckett and Sabathia, the pitching matchup. And a first pitch strike to Jones. Jones has had some form of a 3-ball count on him in every at bat. 3-2 with a couple foul balls extra in the second when he fouled out to the catcher. 3-1 and a walk in the fourth. Bouncing ball headed up the middle. That's going to go through into center. Scoring Markakis. Guerrero stops at second. And the Orioles add a 5th run to their production on the day. Adam Jones, who had gone 3-2 and doubled in the 6th inning, on an 0-1 pitch, bounces it through, picking up the run batted in.
Well, nothing special about this. A fastball out over the plate. Just hits a chopper up the middle. Makes the Rays' job a lot tougher. You keep adding runs on. Now a 5-run deficit, 9 outs to go.
Run is charged to Cruz. The pitch to Hardy is a strike. So Cruz worked an inning, gave up a run, then a walk, struck out a couple. Pitch popped up foul. Jaso makes the catch. That will retire the side. They had a run, however, and we go to the bottom of the 7th, 5-0 Baltimore. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Rays are now down by 5 as they face Brad Bergeson. He's thrown a first pitch strike to Evan Longoria. He's been very stingy with his pitches. 68 pitches through the front 6. Ground ball back of first fair and in and out of the glove of Lee. Rolling into foul territory. That's an error charged to Lee.
Now that might be the break that the Rays need. That should have been an out. See here, it kind of nonchalant it. Didn't even really reach down for it. They let that ball get behind him. It wasn't hit hard. Watch this. He's over there in plenty of time. He almost Cadillacs it. Field that ball way behind him and he comes up empty. That's a play that's got to be made.
Now Matt Joyce. Joyce pops it up on the first pitch. Fox turns around trying to locate it, but it's going to be out of play. One strike to count. One strike to count to Matt. He fouls another one back and out of play. 2. Matt down to the count. Where would he like a pitch? Well, that gives you an idea right there.
Look for a ball up, elevated, doesn't matter where. That's what we talked about earlier, about him spraying the ball to all fields. That 429 are the balls that he's hitting to left. And that's how you put on a display like he has in the past month. You hit 440, you're not going to hit 440 to one side of the field. You're going to have to spray the ball around, and that's what he's done. He's gotten his pitch, worked the count to get a pitch elevated, and when he's gotten it, he hasn't missed it.
1-2. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that gives you a pretty good idea there. You know, 17 hits to center and 17 to right, 7 the other way. Ground ball right side. Lee goes down to second. They get the force play there and back to first with the pitcher coverings not in time. So Joyce reaches on a fielder's choice. Longoria forced Lee to Hardy.
Another play here. Orioles have a chance at a double play. Derek Lee again can't come up with it cleanly. He does get the lead runner Longoria. Well, that was set up nicely. Just that little bit of a delay, they're not able to make the turn.
Here's Upton. BJ takes a strike. Minnesota batting in the bottom of the 7th with a 3-2 lead on Toronto. One ball, 1 strike. Aaron Sebia hit a home run for the Blue Jays. His 6th. Kadire number 4 for the Twins. Here the Rays have been out hit 9-4, and they trail 5-0. BJ lifts a pop fly, shallow right. Marquez coming in a long way. Is there. 2 gone. So still a man at first now with 2 outs. Casey Kochman will be the hitter. Casey twice has gone out to Roberts at second. Pitch a little high. The Rays have not had a hit since the 3rd. There's a strike.
Well, Ferguson is working quickly, throwing strikes. I mean, there's nothing outside of that. Keeping the ball down in the zone.
Ground ball, second base again. 3rd straight time, and Roberts throws him out. We're through 7, still 5-0 Baltimore.
more coming to bat, and tomorrow is a big day here at Tropicana Field for kids 14 and under. I think you're a kid 14 and under. What's your name?
Ari.
Ari, and your brother? What's your name? What's his name, Ari?
Ben.
Yeah, and you know what tomorrow is, Ari?
Yeah.
Raymond pillowcase giveaway. What do you think about this, huh?
Yeah. This
like
is
it?
awesome.
It's awesome?
Yeah, and I'm totally going to like this.
You're totally going to like this? Do you want this?
Yeah.
Well, guys, tomorrow, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under get this, but I think the first one goes to Ari and Ben. You guys will share, right?
Right.
Okay, well, who's your brother, or who's your favorite player out here on the Rays?
Well, right now, BJ Upton is out in our field, so he's getting ready for this big catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can catch this ball and make this guy not in a home run.
I like that. Jake Fox is at the plate, guys, and we have a prediction that BJ Upton is going to make the catch and not allow this guy to hit a home run. So back to you. That's straight from Ari and Ben.
Sounds like pretty good analysis right there. The pitch is a little wide, and so ball 4. Fox draws the walk.
Just keeping the chair warm for him.
Just a B.J. Upton fan right there.
Yeah. Gonna rob him.
Reynolds pitches a strike. Reynolds homered in the 5th inning. Fouls one straight back, and it's going to be just above us, off the facing of the upper deck and down below. 2 strikes. Adam Russell, pitcher number 3 for the Rays. Wade Davis worked 5 1/3. Juan Cruz 1 full inning. Just missed a little wide. A ball, 2 strikes. It's 2-2. Russell gave up a couple hits in the 7th inning. Left a couple men on base. Walked Fox here in the 8th, and now 3-2 to Reynolds.
Yeah, that is the biggest drawback of Adam Russell. He's got the kind of pitcher's body frame, the big fastball, the sweeping slider that you really love coming out of the bullpen. The question is the command.
Ground ball shortstop. Renyak Zobrist. That's 1. Kochman. That's 2. 6-4-3. So the double play ball is something else you like coming out of the bullpen.
You do. And you know, I think that's what you're going to see with Adam Russell is when he's able to refine his command to where Joe Madden can count on him to come in and throw strikes and not have to worry about the walk. That's not going to say he's never going to walk anybody, but it's more of the game right now for Adam Russell is that command that can disappear at times. But when Joe Madden trusts him to be able to come in and pump that strike zone full of strikes, you're going to see this guy start to creep back towards that back end of the bullpen because he's got the stuff to be able to do it. It's a matter of being able to put the ball where he wants it consistently.
1-0 pitch, and Roberts takes it the other way. There's a base hit toward the line, picked up by Sam Fole to hold Roberts to a single. And so Roberts has a 2-hit day. He's 2 for 5. The Orioles have been trying to get him going. He was 2 for 35 coming into this game. 2 for 5 today.
Oh, he just does a nice job of going down and getting that pitch that's away from him. It's on the outer half, way below the zone. Kind of fillets that ball down in the left field.
10 Baltimore hits. Markakis pulls away from that first one. He's been on each of the last 3 plate appearances. Markakis. Brandon Gomes has been up in the Rays bullpen. Markakis with 2 singles and a walk. Two and 0. That pitch high. Tigers lead Kansas City 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th in Detroit. Brad Penny 5 hits through 8. All 3 Tiger runs came in the first inning of that game. There goes the runner. A great jump and no chance to get him. So Roberts steals his 4th base of the year.
Now another Oriole base runner timing up the pitcher. You see the high leg kick there by Adam Russell. There was just no way. That was actually a good pitch to handle for Jaso as far as throwing out a runner at second base, but even he knew no chance.
So now with the steal of second and a 3-0 count, Markakis will be given an intentional walk. Derek Lee is due, and out of the dugout comes Joe Madden. We'll be back with a new pitcher in a moment. Autoway, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. And by your greater Tampa Bay area Buick GMC dealers. Brandon Gomes, pitcher number 4. Derek Lee stepping in here with 2 men on. And the pitch from Gomes is low. 4 runs charged to Davis, 1 to Cruz, and Russell leaves with 2 men on for Gomes. Foul out of play. Count is 1-1. Gomes was impressive this spring. He went to AAA to Durham, was impressive there. And now on for the 5th time for the Rays. Upstairs. Gomes worked a 3rd of an inning in Tuesday's game in Cleveland. It's the game the Rays dropped in the bottom of the 9th inning. He was charged with a couple runs in that game. Picks up a strike. 2-2.
He's got that slight twist in his delivery to home plate comes from that wide three-quarter, low three-quarter arm angle. Try to create some deception and movement. Mainly sinker slider. Been effective.
2-2. Looked it up the right side. That's foul and headed for the stands. Kochman chases over there, but no chance.
And you could see the Rays, too, the pitching staff across the board continuing to attack Derek Lee with the breaking ball moving away, trying to keep that on the outer half. He's not been very successful going after it to this point. Going with the old, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Fly ball back into right. Joyce is going to have to go in a hurry to get this one. It's going to be off the bottom of the wall. Into second base with a double goes Lee. Roberts scoring from second. And Markakis stopping at third. That makes it 6-0.
Well, there Derek Lee got a fastball. He got the fastball away. It was not in a bad spot. See, here it is. Fastball, middle of the plate down, middle of the way down. He's a strong guy, gets it out over the head of Matt Joyce. They've been going with the breaking ball and getting him to commit early with the hip. And then he ended up reaching for it. They throw him the fastball. He does a better job of staying on that pitch, and he drives it.
Well, Vladimir Guerrero takes a fastball outside. It's in on him, and he did go, says Darryl Cousins. It's 1-1. Cousins right on it.
Yeah, a little too far.
Liner into left field. Gold makes the catch on the run. Headed toward the corner. Reaching with the glove hand at the last moment. Pulled it out of the air. That retires the side. Bottom of the 8th coming. It's 6-0 Baltimore. The Toyota inside look.
Now he's been keeping the ball down. That is the key for him. The sinker, a lot of ground balls. We've been seeing this all day long. Getting Longoria into a double play. Good slider there to Kochman. Just continues to work lower half of the strike zone, and the Rays are beating the ball into the ground.
And one right after another low pitch innings. First pitch to Brignac is a strike. He made only 81 pitches through 7 innings. And another ground ball. Hardy with the pickup, and his throw to first. One out in the 8th, and let's check in with Todd Callis.
Hey, Dwayne, time to look at our Auto 8 text poll question of the evening. We're up here at the, where are we, 302, 300. We got a good crowd here. Everybody getting excited about Rays baseball, the post-game concert. Who do you think is going to lead the Rays in complete games this year? You got Price, TB1. You've got Shields, TB2. You've got Hellickson, TB3. You've got, Davis, TB3, Hellickson, TB4, and Neiman, TB5. And we actually found a group over here, too, and we'll have those results for our Auto 8 text poll question in the post-game show. Where's your guys' sign? They have a sign here that they're trying to find me during the game, but unfortunately the sign was used as an umbrella to get into the ballpark. So this used to, look what happened. It used to be a really nice, pretty sign, and now it looks like something from Gilligan's Island. But there you go, guys. Part of the 300, 302 crew here, enjoying a little. All right, hold the sign that way. Hold the sign that way. There you go. Part of the shipwreck crew. Guys, back to you.
Hey, that's a question we often ask when we're on the road. Where's Todd Callis? Swing and a miss. John Jaso is out on strikes. So 2 up and 2 down. The Rays have not had a hit since Sam Folds singled with 1 out back in the 3rd. And they've had only 1 base runner since then, and that was on an error.
Well, you can really see that, Dwayne, as this game has moved on, the confidence of Brad Bergeson grow. I mean, this is a sinker ball we talked about, working down in the zone, right there. He elevates up and into Jaso. Pitch you don't see from him very often, gets the swing and a miss. He's feeling it out there right now.
2-0 the count to Sam Folds. Take a look at the pitch count throughout the progression of this game. There's a strike, 2-1. San Diego came back to beat Colorado 9-7. Padres were down 7-1 in that game. 2-2. They scored 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th inning on a home run by Brad Hopp.
Paying him back.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, doing that on the road too. That thin air in Denver, not an easy place to play.
And Folds is out on strikes, 1, 2, 3. So the Rays are up and down in order and trail 6-0 after 8. Wrap-up game of the series here against the Orioles tomorrow. Andy Sonnenstein's going to make the start, coming off the start against Cleveland. So Andy with Neiman on the disabled list, holding down that final spot in the rotation. He'll be opposed by Jack Arrieta.
Andy will be looking to bounce back. 5 walks in that last start. That was his first of the year.
Felix PA leads off the ninth, popping it foul out of play. That's a strike. Rays have some defensive changes. Ben Zobrist in right field, and Elliott Johnson has taken over at second base. Brandon Gomes on the hill for the Rays. And the pitch is a strike, 0-2. Sonny Andy Sonnenstein looking for his first win tomorrow. It's a 1:40 first pitch. We'll be with you at 1 o'clock with our coverage. And a cut and a miss. So that takes care of PA. First strikeout for Gomes. So Sonnenstein against Arrieta tomorrow in the wrap-up game of this series, and then the Yankees come in on Monday and Tuesday. 2 night games. Well, the Yankees will play tonight, taking on Boston, and again tomorrow night. There's a first pitch strike to Jones. It's a little wide. 1-1. Play 1-2. Rays came into this game 8 games over 500. That's a high water mark for them, and a 2-game lead on New York. They have 1 shot left, so they're going to have to hold the Orioles here and have a big bottom of the ninth if they're to turn that around. Reed Davis worked 5 1/3. Cruz an inning. Russell an inning and a third. Now Gomes in there. And he strikes out Adam Jones.
Now, just like Ferguson, Brandon Gomes so often down in the zone with that low angle. Watch him elevate right here. Brings that ball up and away. And Adam Jones, a good fastball hitter, and it just beats him. You know, you don't look for the ball up there off a guy that's dropping down out low 3/4, almost sidearm. Not looking for the ball up.
Here's the shortstop, J.J. Hardy. That's a strike on the outside corner. And he brings that one in there, breaking ball. 0-2.
He started that ball in, really buckled Hardy. Came
Rob
out.
Delaney down there in the bullpen. Swing and a miss. So that takes care of Hardy. Gomes strikes out the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Rays are down 6-0. From Brad Bergeson, who came into this game 0-4 with a 5.57 earned run average. He's retired 17 of the last 18 men he's faced, and the only man who reached on an error. The Rays haven't had a hit since the third, and Ben Zobrist will open the bottom of the ninth inning.
Well, what's been tough on the Rays is Bergeson has been getting the low strike called, and he hasn't really elevated unless he's wanted to.
Pitch is wide, 2-0.
You get those pitches down around the knees consistently getting called and then have to put them in play. It's going to be a long day for you.
And 3 straight pitches up and out of the strike zone. 3-0. He's never made more than 13 pitches in a single inning. And he walked Zobrist on 4 straight pitches here in the ninth. Well, there's a start. Leadoff man on via the walk. First walk given up by Bergeson in the game. Here's Johnny Damon. Pitch is a strike. Damon singled in the first. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch lifted into center field. Routine for Adam Jones. 1 away and back to first goes Zobrist. Evan Longoria will bat. Three ground balls from Longoria. He's 0 for 3. Pops it up this time, going after the first pitch. Hardy at shortstop makes the catch. So 2 outs. Well, the Rays had men reach third base in each of the first 3 innings, and really absolutely nothing from Bergeson after that.
Well, how many times do you see that happen? You get a couple of opportunities, you're not able to cash in, the pitcher then settles in, starts to build a little confidence and takes off. That's the risk that you run, and that's why, you know, when you hear managers talk about, well, we had some opportunities that we didn't cash in on, they realize how important it is, because these things can happen.
First pitch is a strike to Elliott Johnson, who's now hitting in the spot vacated by Joyce. And Zobrist moves into second base on indifference. 0-2. So Bergeson 1 out away from throwing his second shutout. And a swing and a miss. Johnson is out on strikes, and the Rays go down with a walk and a man left in the ninth inning. A 4-hit shutout for Brad Bergeson, who will pick up his first win of the year. And boy, he did it on his terms. Bergeson going the distance and throwing the shutout. With 2 hours and 32 minutes to play this game, a 4-hit shutout by Brad Bergeson. And this series is even at a game apiece. Miller Lite tastes greatness moment. The swing and a miss by Elliott Johnson. The finishing touch on this shutout performance. The complete game. First win of the year for Brad Bergeson. And he gave the Rays nothing after the third inning. So the Rays are now 23-16. Their lead over New York stands at a game and a half, with the The final game of this 3-game series on tap for tomorrow. Now for Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. If not the outcome, we'll be with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Rays Live, the postgame is coming up next, and we will see you there.